Hi, this is Sue Jackson, and I'm here today with a tag video. This is the 10 Untouched Books Tag, and this is a really unique one, and I loved it when I heard about it. It was created by Romeo Reads, and I was tagged by two people, by Daniela at Uncommon Reader and by Michael Romeo. So I think his channel's Michael Romeo Reads. So thank you to both of them. I'll include links to their channels below. Please check those out. Both are favorite channels of mine. And this is a really simple tag video because there's only one prompt. Present 10 books from your shelves that have been there at least a year or more and present them. This is about creating awareness to read from our shelves, enhance sustainability, and maybe even save a few bucks. Yeah. On my shelf a year or more. I went deeper than that. I have a whole bookcase of books waiting to be read. And I am losing the battle. The problem is I read the books that I get as gifts, but I also read the books that I give to my husband as gifts. And so, yeah, I can't read them as fast as they come in. My first one is definitely, without a doubt, the oldest book on my shelf that I have not read yet. And I just talked about this in my childhood books tag. Moll Flanders by Daniel Defoe, which right after I recorded that childhood books tag and talked about this book and held it up, there was a Jeopardy question that night about who wrote Moll Flanders. So this was assigned in freshman literature in college, but as I explained in the childhood books tag, we had like a dozen books assigned for that class, for a one semester class. One of those was the Old Testament. There was a lot of reading. Plus, I was loaded up on math and science courses, my first year of engineering. And yeah, I did not read it. I did write a paper on it and got an A. Which I'm very proud of. But I have never read it to this day. And I've never read anything by Daniel Defoe. So I really want to read this. It's top on my classics list. The Rule of Four by Ian Caldwell and Dustin Thomason. So this was, as it says right on the front cover, the astonishing New York Times bestseller. This book was published, I'm guessing, the 90s? Oh, it's not as bad as I thought. It was published in 2004, which seems like just yesterday to me. But this book got a lot of press when it was first published. My husband's read it. I think it's kind of a literary thriller, profoundly erudite, the ultimate puzzle book. I think it came out on the tails of Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code. Supposed to be like along those same lines. My husband enjoyed it years ago when we first got it. I've never read it, but it's been on my side of the to-read bookcase for a very long time. This one's not quite that old, but I love Nevada Barr. She writes the series of books about Anna Pigeon, who is a national park ranger. Each of her books is set in a different national park. Love her books. So does my husband. We listened to Blood Lure by her when we were up in Montana because it is set in Glacier National Park, which is where we were visiting. This one is set in New Orleans, where we used to live, in the National Historical Park there. I've been wanting to read it for ages. Again, my husband's already read it. This one, you can tell by the larger format paperback, it's not as old, but it's been on my big book summer stack for like 5 summers in a row. Next summer, I'm going to get to it. Into Thin Air by Jon Krakauer. Oh man, this is nonfiction about his experiences climbing Everest, I believe. A personal account of the Mount Everest disaster, yeah. Supposed to be an excellent book. I know Jon Krakauer is an excellent writer. It was first published in 1997. So let's say the paperback came out 98. We may have had it that long. My husband read it long ago. So nonfiction November is coming up. Maybe I'll get to it this year. The Ear, the Eye, and the Arm by Nancy Farmer. This has been around since my 31-year-old son was like middle school age because he read it and told me it was great. And I had read, this is the author of The House of the Scorpion, which we both read, and my husband too. We all loved that. So I know she's an outstanding writer. And my son has told me this is great. What is that? Wow, my eyes just get worse and worse. Oh, that's the Newbery Medal. Yeah, and it's not that long because it is YA. It's 300 pages. I really do need to get to this. Mr. Peanut by Adam Ross. I actually asked for this for Christmas one year because it had gotten so much acclaim, so much press. Supposed to be an outstanding novel. 2010. This came out in 2010. It's paperback, so I probably had it since 2011, maybe 2012. Yeah, it's time I get to it. I don't even know what it's about. But, New York Times notable book, one of the best books of the year. That moniker was given by the New Yorker, the Philadelphia Inquirer, the Economist. I mean, it's supposed to be an excellent novel. Exit Ghost by Philip Roth. No idea what that's about even. Actually, I wonder if it is actually a ghost story because I am in the year of reading ghost stories with the Book Cougars podcast. So maybe I should look into that. I picked this up in a bookstore long ago, simply because at the time, I hadn't read any Philip Roth. Now, maybe 10, 12 years ago, we did read American Pastoral in my book group, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was very well written. This was published in 2007. So, and it's not that long either. I really should get to it one of these days. It's under 300 pages, though it doesn't quite count for Shorty September. But I'm going to look. If it's actually a ghost story, I may read it in October. Sarah's Key by Tatiana de Rosnay. So I think this is a World War II book. My mom read it and then lent it to me and said it was great. I still haven't read it. And my mom usually buys books when they're pretty new. So yeah, this is 2007. So this probably came out in 2008. She probably gave it to me, prior to 2010. I need to get to that one too. Time and Tide in Acadia. Seasons on Mount Desert Island by Christopher Camuto. Nonfiction. I love Maine, and especially Acadia National Park. I picked this up when we were in Acadia, so I know exactly when I bought it. Summer 2013 is the last time we were there. So we're overdue for a visit, but also I am way overdue for reading this book. And I bet it's great. Another nonfiction. Nonfiction November is coming up. And finally, Spilling Clarence by Anne Ursu. She's one of my favorite authors and a friend of mine. She writes a lot of middle grade books, including, and they're all outstanding. I mean, I used to buy them for my niece when she was little. Last year's Not Quite a Ghost. If you're looking for a good read, it's a middle grade novel, so it's not that scary, but outstanding. Really well written. Anne has the same immune disorder that I have, which is very poorly understood both by the general public and the medical community. Her main character in this book gets sick with the same illness, and I have never read anyone write so accurately about it because she's been through it. And yeah, but it's also a really good, creepy ghost story at the same time. So Anne has only written a few books for adults. One was Disappearing James, which I read and loved. And I've had this one on my shelf. Well, you can see it's hardcover. Yeah, it came out in 2002. I don't know why I've never gotten to it. I love her writing. So, I mean, I want to read all of these. I don't know why I haven't yet. So this is a fun tag. It's a great way to go through your shelves and pull out some of, I went for some of the oldest, but they don't have to be that old. And, you know, hopefully bring them back to the front of your mind and get to them sooner. So I am tagging Too Many Heathers, Evening Reader, Kevin Toll Reads, and Berna's Bookish Adventures. And let me know, I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments down below what books have been on your shelf forever that you keep meaning to read and never quite get to. I'd love to hear about it. Oh, and also, please let me know if you've read any of the books from my Untouched stack, and if you'd recommend any of them, if I should move them further up the line.